Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Well, welcome to the Somewhat Original Podcast.
Aw, yeah.
Yo.
We are back. We are assembled.
It's been a long hiatus.
This has been too long, guys.
It really has. Too much has been going on. Insane amount of stuff. I had a whole engine that I had to get replaced in my truck.
I got married.
Well, you did.
Who
Whoa,
saw that
since when?
coming?
Yeah, I don't think we saw that one coming at all. Except that you were engaged and,
I think on the last episode we actually did talk about him getting married.
You know,
Right?
I honestly don't remember.
I can't
It's
even-
been so long.
It's been way
Yeah,
too
I'm
long
not
and I
sure.
have not gone back to listen to that.
Well,
so.
for those that don't know, Daniel's married.
Oh, well, that's not new news, but yep.
So sorry, listeners, we're all taken.
Yeah,
Boo.
except for Daniel.
Wait, but
I was gonna say Tanner, and then Daniel came out. I was like, dang it,
Whoops.
I screwed that up.
anything new with you, Drake?
Just I watched nothing new. Nope.
No.
Nothing new.
I'm in that weird point in my life where you like finish a video game and then you have nothing to do after that. It sucks.
You don't have other video games or shows.
Oh,
or
I
anything
do.
Okay.
I do. I
That's
don't
all
feel
you
like
do.
it.
That makes
It's
sense.
like we're in an age where we have more media, more any entertainment than you could ever dream of, and I'm like, meh.
I'm gonna take a nap instead.
I've been rewatching Community.
That's a
it.
good one.
Good show.
It's a good
Yeah.
show.
I do have to agree on that though. Like especially if you play a really good video game,
Yeah.
and then after you're done with it, it's just like, what can I do next?
Yeah, that's what happened to me. I finished a game that took like 130 hours to beat,
Oh wow.
Wow.
and then
What was the game?
Persona 5 Royal.
Oh,
I've heard that's really good.
Yeah, it is.
I haven't even heard of it. What is it about?
It's about teenagers in Japan.
Oh,
That's
you've got me. I want to play this game now.
I knew you would. I knew you'd be turned off that the second I said
His fingers
that.
on the Amazon buyout button right
Yeah,
now.
but yeah, I don't know. I'm like, I tried to play like BioShock and it bored the crap out of me. So
Really?
I don't know if you've
Like the original BioShock?
yeah.
Hmm.
I'm like, I think I'm almost done with it, but I was like, I can't. This is such a slog. So boring. So anyway,
Interesting.
that's all that's going on with me. Really.
Nice.
Sweet.
I was gonna say I've started playing a couple more video games too. Age of Empires
Nice.
is actually the one I've been going at right now.
You love those.
Yeah, I love those kind of strategy games. Even the other one too is Civilization, which is pretty much the exact same kind of
Yeah.
thing. But yeah, they're pretty fun. Age of Empires came out with a newer like HD version, so
Whoa.
it's actually pretty.
The first one?
The second one.
Oh, the second one. Cool.
Yeah.
On PC, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I think you can get it on Xbox.
Oh.
I don't know if you can get it everywhere else, but
We are not sponsored, by the way, by Age of Empires.
Yeah,
But
we
if
are.
you are listening,
Age of Empires, please sponsor us.
sponsor us, please.
Tanner's like, just give me all the Age of Empire games.
Give them all to me, even though I think I own all of them.
That's pretty sad.
Yeah,
Oh,
I only
jeez.
play one of them though. So, and but yeah, any video games or anything that you're doing?
For me, it's mostly been Overwatch. That's my favorite game of all time, both
How-
on the Xbox and PC.
How many hours have you played that?
I don't know exactly how many hours, but I know it's been a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
I know people like live in that game. You know?
I
they
do.
like they're obsessed with it. Are you? So you're the same way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's Overwatch, and then when I'm not playing Overwatch, I'm playing the new, well, not new, but Kingdom Hearts came out for Xbox.
Oh, okay.
Hey, boy.
And so,
That's
yeah,
right.
I never played it as a kid, and I've always wanted to. And I played Kingdom Hearts 3 when it came out, and I was like, I feel like I'm missing out on so much.
So
And
wait, the one that you're playing right now, is it the first one or the third one?
it's the first. I'm playing the first and second,
Oh yeah, nice.
so that's been really fun. And
Love those games.
I'm finally like filling a hole in my heart that
Yeah.
was there. when I was a
Ironically.
child. Yeah. So it was really cool.
The hole in your heart was Kingdom of Heart.
Ah,
There you go.
yeah.
That's a good
boy.
That's one of my favorites.
It is a good one.
Well, nice. Now that we're all caught up on what video games we're playing, let's go ahead and get into our topic. This is our Season 2 opener, so we are going to be talking about the most exciting subject ever. Thanos versus Darth Vader.
Man, that hype.
Yeah.
Who's the better villain?
Who is the better villain, Darth Vader or Thanos? Thanos or Darth Vader? However you want to say it, we're going to be talking about it.
Awesome.
Daniel's going to be leading in it. Let's go.
Sweet. Well, before we get into the discussion, let's lay some ground rules so the audience understands, where we're coming from. This is not like a person versus person battle. Like, this is not a scenario where they're like trying to kill each other,
fighting each other.
Yeah, It's literally just who do we think is the better villain. We're basically just going to be discussing like their motivations, their power level, their popularity with the initial audience, and their fans, and then by the end, we'll kind of choose ourselves which is the better villain. So
Nice.
So that way you guys can give your opinion as well, based on that. So let's go forward. So Thanos versus Darth Vader. Let's start with the motivations. Yeah. What do you guys think?
It's kind of weird because I think Darth Vader's, just to start with Darth Vader, I guess, his motivation changed like halfway through because first it's like, I want to save everyone I love. And then that's like the prequel trilogy. So like 1, 2, 3 episode 1 through 3. And then 4 through 6 is like ruling the galaxy. And is that a correct assumption?
I would think so.
I would agree. I mean, I think it was all after he found out like his greatest love passed away.
Yeah.
He's like, well, I lost that motivation, so now pretty much let me just conquer the world.
Yeah,
or
that makes
galaxy,
sense.
I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I think like the biggest thing is that he like lusted for power, and once he got it, he like couldn't stop, I guess.
Yeah. I think in addition to that, I think he was hoping to overthrow the Emperor eventually. He realized that he wasn't powerful enough due to like his, of course, mental change in himself, that he wasn't able to take on the Emperor and be the Emperor himself. So I think partly, and that's why in the original trilogy he's trying to incorporate Luke into his team so that they can overthrow the Emperor and rule the Empire as father and son. So
yeah, that's true, huh? So like, yeah, I guess that's another thing that he was doing. He wanted Luke to join him.
That is true.
But ultimately, Luke just didn't care about power, which is, that's the Jedi way, boy.
Exactly. Luke's too strong. One thing I forgot to mention as well before I forget, but just so the audience is aware, we are basing our knowledge off of the movies, mostly, not the comics. I'm assuming, correct?
Yeah, so there might be some holes here.
Yes. So especially when we get into Thanos, obviously we're talking about his movie counterpart and not the comic version, because they are very different. Although there are similarities, because all three of us are more knowledgeable about the movies.
And because I don't know how to read.
Yeah, you never learned.
I never learned.
Actually,
I'm just a plum dumber, that's all.
Plum dumber.
So I actually read the comic stuff when I was a kid, like not when I was a teenager, the Thanos stuff.
Yeah.
And he was pretty scary back then even. So like when in Avengers, like the first time you see him, you're like, after like reading all the stuff, you're like, I hope they do him justice. You know?
Yeah, seriously.
But I wanted to mention too, they don't exactly say it in like the movies. So like for Darth Vader, he's like, oh no, my mommy died, I'm so sad. But Thanos, in the comics, I mean, they don't say it in the movie,
right?
And I'm contradicting exactly what you said with the movies.
That's okay.
But
we have no rules, that's all. It's all good.
But anyway, Thanos killed his mother in the comics.
Interesting.
And he ended up destroying his planet. But I think they allude to that in the movie, in Infinity War, don't they?
Yeah.
I think so, but Marvel is in the process of making an Eternals movie, and I've been hearing rumors that Thanos will be in there as well. So maybe we might get a glimpse of something like that.
Well, yeah,
so.
his brother's in the Eternals. He's like in
really?
that team. So his brother's name is Star Fox.
Interesting.
Oh,
Yeah.
What a bro name. Star Fox.
So yeah.
Wait, the one in the video game?
No.
Oh, okay.
I think that came first because it was from like the 70s or something. But anyway, yeah. I guess since we're talking about him already, we should move on to his motivation.
No, let's go to Thanos' motivation based on the movies. In the comics, his motivation to conquering the world was he was in love with the Corporation of Death.
And that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, but it wasn't the same
scary.
in the movies. So what was his motivation in the movies?
So I think ultimately what he wanted was, like, he didn't lust after power, but he wanted to use it for his ultimate goal of just like bringing balance. And you can tell he didn't really lust for the power because once he used the stones, he just like hangs out at a farm.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I like that a lot. Yeah. I don't know.
I've never fully understood his motivation because why couldn't he just, either with that or with the stones, just go create his own planet and then live on his own farm by himself?
There is some holes.
Well, I think he just, it's more so because he had been doing that to planets before. So it's not just that, I don't know, like one planet was making him think that there needed to be balance, but like the entire universe, he thought everything was out of whack.
I just almost feel like it was almost just for fun. Like he just needed, so he was bored and wanted to do something.
I could see that.
He was just powerful enough to do something like that.
That's interesting. And from my perspective, I feel like with Thanos, he thought he was doing the right thing. I feel like, in the comics, not so much in the movies. Again, I'm contradicting myself too.
Yeah.
In the comics, he was known as the Mad Titan. He wasn't really called that in the movies, but it was implied that he's pretty mad. Because his own ideals have kind of shaped how he thinks, and to the point to where he believes that what he's doing is the only way.
And he won't stop until he reaches his goal.
Like, he is the hero of his own story, right?
Yeah.
And he believes that in order to save all the resources that are out there in the universe, he has to get rid of half of the population.
I guess I retract my statement of he was doing it for fun. I actually totally agree with that. Like, he really was set in that situation, like in his mindset. It's just like, this is what I was born here on this earth to do, and that's what I'm gonna do, because he had that power and he wanted to do it. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah.
Thanks for changing my mind.
I'm not here to change minds.
I agree with
what I know.
You said, though. And I guess going back to Darth Vader, you could say the same about him, that he's like this hero in his own story. But I guess it depends on like where you're looking at it from. I don't know.
Well, I mean, in his point of view, the Jedi were evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is true.
Oh my god. Straight from the movie.
So all the good people were evil.
Yep. So, I mean, you could kind of see that, like, there's kind of similarities between them. They really thought that, to a point, their own ideals were correct.
Yeah.
And they thought that everybody else was corrupt or basically in their way, to the point where they would commit mass genocide and kill every single one. So it's really hard to kind of pinpoint who has the better motivation, in terms of villainy. So
yeah.
Should we talk about their introduction? Like the first time you're seeing them?
Yeah, we could go into that.
It could be said that the first introduction of Thanos is in Avengers, but let's say Infinity War, because I feel like that's better.
Sure.
But yeah.
I mean, I was gonna say the Avengers was for only those who actually knew who Thanos was.
Yeah. Well, that's why I say it, because when I saw Avengers, I was like, I like freaked out, and everyone else in the theater's just like,
who's the purple dude?
Purple guy. What the big deal?
That was me, actually. I was like, who the heck is this purple guy that has gum for his chin or something?
Gum for his chin.
Purple gum.
But yeah, I guess we could start with Darth Vader.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like with his stuff. So
that's a good idea.
First time you see Darth Vader, pretty menacing dude.
Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty scary when you first see him. Like, despite the prequels, you know. But
well, I mean, that was the first. You're talking about the first time
the very
everyone
first
saw
time you
him.
see
So
him.
yeah,
Yeah.
of course. The
so
fourth,
yeah, like
fourth episode.
you see him and he's like choking dudes, and he like is trying to find, I don't know. He see like immediately like you can see like Command's power, and he like, he's like the boss in the room basically. I don't know.
He's got like James Earl Jones's silky but like menacing voice.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope.
And not just in that first part, but also just seeing him throughout that movie, and even like his own guys, he would kill.
Yeah.
Just
Well, yeah,
out,
like
out of
that-
pure anger.
That one meeting, I think it's in A New Hope, but there's like a meeting when they're all sitting there and he just like chokes that one dude, and you're like,
It's like he has people that are following him and following his orders, and if they mess up or if he just doesn't even like them, just done.
He's dead.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's pretty.
I will
scary.
say to that, Darth Vader was practicing staying at home, working from home before it was cool. So there you go.
Oh.
How?
When he choked the dude in the video, like he has like a video like conference with them, he's just like, you know what, screw you, and chokes him, kills him. I just saw a meme about that. That's not my own joke, but I thought it was funny.
I was like very confused for a second there.
Huh? Yeah, Darth Vader was on a Zoom call and decided to choke his employee because they weren't doing crap. But no, I think Darth Vader's introduction was very strong. Like you said, very menacing. He came in with very much authority. You could tell like everyone was fearful of him. Unfortunately, we weren't around when the movie came out first, so we couldn't like
Be in the theater.
I don't even remember my initial reaction when I saw Darth Vader. So unfortunately,
Yeah,
that's
it's hard
for
to
me.
say because, I mean, I'm assuming all three of us we've been watching Star Wars our entire life.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, even like the VHSs, the DVDs, the Blu-rays, all that crap. Like Disney Plus now. Like, I've been watching it for a long time, so it's hard to say like what your first reaction was. You probably thought it was cool, but
Right.
like you've
Yeah.
probably seen him before anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I don't know. Any other thoughts on that?
No, I think that was about what I thought about him too.
Cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, let's go into Thanos' introduction. So we're not going with the Avengers reveal, the end credit reveal, because not a lot of people realized who he was. Plus, I think he showed up in Guardians of the Galaxy.
He showed up in a couple movies.
He was kind of Emperor
Yeah.
Palpatine, sort of
Here and there.
here and there.
But like Infinity War is when you see that he is like freaking scary. Because the disadvantage that Star Wars has against the Avengers movies is that we've seen the Avengers for like 10 years and see them like beat people for 10 years.
And how
And you
strong
didn't-
they are.
Yeah, and you didn't see that at all with Star Wars with like A New Hope, you know?
Right.
So when you see Thanos, the first thing he does, like you see that he's already beaten
Yeah.
them, and then they throw the Hulk at him, and you've never seen the Hulk lose ever.
Yeah.
The Hulk never loses, and he gets his tuchus handed to him so fast. Like that part, right off the bat, I was like, "Holy crap, this is scary!" And not only that, like I was nervous that they would not do justice for Thanos because he was like one of my favorite comic book villains ever. And like after those 5 minutes where it's like he beats the crap out of Hulk, he kills Loki, he kills Heimdall, I was like, I'm sold, guys.
No, he's the villain, that's for sure. Yep.
He's scary.
Yeah, it definitely showed a greater strength at that point. Just because, like you said, we grew up with that. So,
Well,
seeing
and
how
it's
everyone else beat up everything else
Yeah.
and all the other strong things, but then just all of a sudden, just like that.
and it's characters you care about, like because you care about Loki and all that, and then all of a sudden they're just gone, and
Right.
it's like, all right, well, freak. And I think everyone in the theater, from what I remember, it was like silent during all that, you know, and like even
Yeah.
the beginning when it's like quiet and there isn't like upbeat music at the very beginning with the Marvel scrolling thing, I was like, man, this is gonna be scary because essentially like Infinity War is a horror movie in my mind Because Thanos is he, like you said before, he's like the hero of his own story.
Mm-hmm.
And he just goes through and kills everyone you've ever met, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. What else? What thoughts do you guys have?
With my thoughts, it's kind of hard to say who has the better introduction, because I feel like with Darth Vader, he's the first character you see in that movie, if I'm not mistaken, like first
Like,
main
with a
character,
name, yeah.
right? That he just comes in, boom, starts choking people, right off the bat, right out of the gate, literally. Like he steps through mist, like stormtroopers everywhere, and he's just like he's there to get crap done. Whereas Thanos, I feel like, yes, he had a really good introduction in Infinity War, but he had such a build up. He's been in kind of like the background for so long, and so many people were like, okay, like how good is this guy? Having that question in your mind, and then finally when you see him, you see how powerful he is, then you're like, whoa, he is something to you can't mess with.
Yeah, so. I'm curious because you've never read like comic book stuff, like
no.
I assume you have, but
a little here and there.
Like what was your? Because when you first see Thanos, you said it's just a purple guy, but like through the years and you see him in other movies, what were you thinking? Like, were you thinking like, what's the big deal or what?
Well, after I saw him in Avengers itself, like I thought, okay, I got to figure out who this guy is. So of course I went to Google and looked it up, and then so I kind of learned after that. I was like, okay, he's gonna be like the big villain that they're gonna battle at one point. I just didn't know exactly when, and I didn't know really how powerful.
Yeah,
but
they like answer that question so fast.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's crazy.
But I mean, yeah, I never imagined what exactly was going to happen at the very beginning. But I mean, I feel like with that though, because I was more curious about it, I looked into it and kind of got my own answer through the internet. I was like, well, yeah, he is going to be a big guy. Like, so I don't know if that kind of tainted my introduction to him, because I already knew he was going to be such a powerful guy.
Well, it's hard to say, like, because even like I said, like even me with knowing who Thanos is, like, and reading about him for years and stuff, like, even I was like, I don't know if they'll be able to do it. And even like the comic Thanos and the movie Thanos, they have like two very different motivations, but they're equally as scary in my mind.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
That's
Vader, Darth Vader, Thanos. Also, I'll tell you another thing. Anyone that's read comic books, in my head, I always thought his name was Thanos, but the second, because that's always how it's said.
Yeah.
And then the movie comes out, and they're all like Thanos, and I'm like, excuse me, I'm not changing that.
Huh?
I always thought it was Thanos.
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 Fennec.
Well, cool. So that's the introduction part. Maybe the next category could be like power level.
Yeah.
Like how each is powerful in their own right. Tanner, let's start with you. What are your thoughts?
I actually have a list of everyone's powers.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if we want to go through all of them or
Just,
what.
do a brief thing.
So, of course, Darth Vader has a lot of different Force powers. I mean, he has the Force, so that would be, but he has telekinesis, he chokes, he does Force chokes, has Force push, Force jump, lightsaber throw, Force barrier to help protect him from attacks.
I've never seen that. Have you?
I think it's, if I'm correct, I don't know if there's like a explanation, but I think Force barrier is to protect them from I think slightly physical harm, but also like other Force users. That's why you can't see like other Jedi Force pushing other Jedi, because they have that barrier. So it's just not like that sort of.
Oh, okay.
It says that he can create barriers and bubbles with the Force. Force Maelstrom, which is arguably Anakin's strongest Force ability. He creates a nigh impenetrable bubble-shaped barrier. Then he picks up all loose objects in the area and swirls them around in a storm of telekinesis, bombarding people with debris as they fly and helplessly in the air.
Did they just make all these up? I haven't seen any of this.
Have you played Jedi Fallen Order?
I have, yeah.
He kind of does that like in the end when he's like chucking. I don't know if that's what it's referring to, but something like.
Oh, spoilers, by the way.
Sorry.
That's a fun game, though. I
It
love
is a
that
fun
game.
game.
Dude, I had to, not to go off on too much of a tangent, but I had to bump down the the difficulty.
Oh, we all did.
It was so hard. Did you do it?
Yep.
Okay, good. I thought I was alone and I felt like a wuss, but like
I did too. But I
Dude,
was like, I can't get past this part.
it was too hard. It was too much.
He even has a force cloak where he can render himself invisible to all but the strongest Jedi and Sith.
That's cool.
That I've never heard of.
And then, randomly though, he also has Force Ghost. He has the ability to become one with the Force and manifest himself to communicate with the living, which is actually a light side power, but,
Yeah, I don't know how he can do that. Maybe he learned it when he was...
He learned it from Obi-Wan or Yoda, it was from what I was reading about it, so...
Huh.
I mean, he has a bunch of different other little ones, but...
Okay.
Force Rage was another huge one, too, but...
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah.
Sweet.
Pretty
and
cool.
then Thanos, let's see. He has bionic amplification, mysticism, and power bestowed by the abstract entity Death.
I don't think he uses any of those in that movie.
Yeah, that's okay. For the sake, we'll probably.
I mean, I'm assuming in the movie, from what I remember in the comic stuff, he's like they say in the movies from Titan, but people on Titan look basically like people.
Right.
He is a mutant on Titan. Like not everyone has purple skin and looks like Grimace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He can also absorb and project vast quantities of cosmic energy. We did see that in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And is capable of telekinesis and telepathy. I'm bad at pronouncing things. I don't know why.
No worries.
That's because I'm a plumb dumber and I can't read.
Does it say it's because of the stones?
Not in that. It just says that he can. Because
Hmm.
I've read it before though, like about it, and it said that he could do that. He could receive the power or cosmic energy from people and use it.
That's cool.
And then he can manipulate matter and live indefinitely without food, air, or water.
Me too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and live live. What am I thinking? He can manipulate matter and live indefinitely without food, air, or water. Cannot die of old age. Is immune to all terrestrial diseases, and has high resistance to assaults.
Physical assaults?
Assaults.
I guess you really
Psychic
can't.
assaults.
I guess
okay.
you really can't read.
Oh my gosh. This is bad. Oh my gosh.
Wow, I thought you were just kidding, but dang, boy.
I told you I can't read. I don't know why I'm the one that's reading then. And then Thanos is also an accomplished hand-to-hand combatant, having been trained in the art of war on Titan.
A lot of those sound made up to me, just like the Darth Vader ones.
I feel like a lot of those are more attributed. Maybe I could be wrong, but it could be more attributed to his comic book version. But also at the same time, whenever we saw Thanos, he wasn't really fighting a whole ton. He only really fought when he really needed to, or just to have fun, like with Hulk.
He definitely had a lot of minions to help him.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could have had those powers. We just never saw them in fruition.
Well, when he's in Endgame,
right.
he doesn't even have the stones, and all he does is like beat the crap out of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe we saw some excerpts from his power list on there. So
Maybe.
we just don't know.
Yeah. And plus, I don't know how to read. Maybe I just made that all up in my head.
He wasn't actually reading. Just he has psychic. He can transform into a dog.
Phasacic.
Yeah, exactly. So, my point exactly.
All right. What else? I'm trying to think of other aspects of our friends here.
I guess we could. I was thinking maybe like overall reception or popularity.
Yeah.
But
Well, Darth Vader's been popular since 1977, so
it's
I
true.
guess he wins that
It's a
one.
long
He
one.
literally makes any movie he's in just, or any like part of the Star Wars franchise just instantly.
I really like
Bumped it up.
the scenes with him in Rogue One.
Mhm.
Cool.
That was so good.
Yeah.
And when he's talking to the director Krennic guy, and he says, be careful not to choke on your aspirations. I was like, this is such a Darth Vader thing to say, man. So cool.
That was really cool.
I also kind of think, I don't know, I think about like toys. I guess now that I'm older, I don't look at toys as much, but I honestly remember seeing a lot more Darth Vader toys than Thanos
True.
toys.
Well, you wouldn't, I guess, right?
I mean,
but even like,
Now
Disney is what like pushes toys
Yeah.
so hard. So it's like, it's interesting. Yeah, I don't see Thanos toys. You see like Gauntlet.
I
stuff.
do happen to go look through the toy aisle every now and again.
There are
just
Thanos
for fun.
toys.
But I
mean,
still feel like
I've
I
seen
see a lot more Darth Vader.
Huh.
Even now, like, as Darth Vader's not as huge. I mean, yeah, it's still huge. He's
There's
still
probably
a huge
more
thing.
Kylo Ren stuff right now, though.
Yeah. But I still feel like I see Darth Vader stuff all the time.
Interesting.
That you could get a Darth Vader toaster.
Yeah.
Is there a Thanos toaster?
Marvel, you
honestly,
listening?
I don't know. Let me look that up.
Giving you ideas, bruh.
I do have a Death Star waffle maker.
Ooh, that's close.
That's cool.
Yeah, I got it for my wife for Christmas one year. She's a big fan of Star Wars.
Nice.
But now I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna see if there is a Thanos toaster.
I will say though, I think as time goes on, and don't quote me on this, but I think that Thanos will be like the Darth Vader for kids,
Right.
that grew up watching Infinity War and Endgame.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's kind of unfair because Darth Vader has had a lot of time to shine.
Yeah.
And resonate with a lot of fans, whereas Thanos is a very more recent villain.
I mean, yeah, like Infinity War came out in 2018.
Exactly, like 2 years ago.
Yeah, like I feel like kids will be talking about that for years. Like we talked about Darth Vader and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so only time will tell for them, I
But
guess.
the thing that kind of spurred on the discussion, like the idea to have this discussion was like, I remember a tweet before Infinity War came out, and it was either from the directors or someone else. I don't know. But they said that Thanos is going to be scarier than Darth Vader. And I was like, we'll see, I guess. But whatever. You found a toaster?
No. So based
no
off the internet, there are some looks like memes that say Thanos toaster, but I don't know, and it shows a purple.
It's
toaster.
just a purple toaster.
Yeah. So literally, I have no clue. But why it has Thanos toaster?
If that's the case, then like that one chick in Breaking Bad, her whole house would be Thanos stuff.
Oh yeah, because she did like purple.
She loved purple.
That's true.
I forgot her name.
Walt's wife.
Walt's wife.
Walt's
yeah.
wife, yep. I can't
Or
remember.
no, not Walt's wife.
Why did I say Walt's?
Mike?
No.
Wow, we're dumb.
It's been a while since I've
I
watched
can't
Breaking
think
Bad.
of his name. Hank's
Hank.
wife.
Hank's wife. Yeah.
Jeez.
I hate that
Mrs.
on
Hank.
podcasts, and I just did it, man.
Yeah, it's all good. So based off of the internet, because there is no Thanos toaster, and there is a Darth Vader toaster, Darth Vader is more popular.
I would also bring up an arguing point that Darth Vader has yet to be quote-unquote ruined. I feel like there's been a debate out there with Endgame that Thanos' character was kind of ruined because, spoilers, he gets, his head chopped off. Like the original Thanos from Infinity War, and is replaced by a previous, like very different, 2014, like not as developed Thanos.
It's the same character with the same motivations, just from a different time. I mean, all he did was he basically watched Infinity War, and he was like, "I'm caught up, dude. Let's go fight.
Let's go."
He like watched it through Nebula's Wi-Fi thing, whatever it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. There's an argument that what's his name, Darth Vader was ruined by some of the stuff in the prequels, but I mean, it's kind of hard to like reconcile like Darth Vader in 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6 even with the Clone Wars, like,
and Rebels.
I still feel like I don't understand how he changed from, like, the goodest of the good to very bad. But like, I don't know. It's kind of hard to show, I guess, that someone's like getting worse over time. But I guess they did. But I don't know. I guess I would have liked them to go about it a different way. I don't know.
It'll be interesting because I feel like it's going to be harder to bring Thanos into a lot of different things now that he's kind of over. Whereas, for example, I feel like the only thing I've seen Thanos in, at least recently, apart from the comics and the movies,
was Fortnite.
I forgot about that. I didn't think about that. But Fortnite, and then they came out with this like Telltale. I don't know if you guys know the Telltale games, the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah.
Thanos was a villain, but he was like in it for 5 minutes, and then the Guardians of the Galaxy literally kill him.
Let me tell you,
right off the bat.
Also, in like the video games and stuff, he's pretty prominent in there. Like, they just came out with like oh my gosh, why did I just screw that up? Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, and it's basically like a rehashing of Infinity War, like getting the stuff. I haven't played it.
I've never played it either.
I know that they have the Infinity gems and stuff. So, I don't know. He's pretty prominent in comic books, like even more, especially now. Like there was a Thanos-centric comic for a while, which was really good, by the way. In case anyone wants to read some Thanos stuff, but I don't know. I feel like you're right. You can't really do much more with him in movies unless you did like a prequel or something.
Right, which they might be doing. So
but
we'll see.
Who knows? But like, the thing with like the comic book movies is like usually you'll like see the movie and you'll be like, hey, I want to start reading stuff about Thanos. So, he's like really prominent in that, just not movie wise, I guess.
Right. I think we're not going to see like a Rogue One scene.
Yeah.
With
I don't think so.
Like equivalent in Marvel with Thanos, obviously, because I feel like Marvel's a little bit more kid friendly. That I could be kind of wrong.
Yeah.
You know, maybe because now they own Fox and they own Deadpool and all that, they might change a little bit, but I feel like we're not going to get that sort of thing anymore, and so I feel like Darth Vader's reception gets better because Star Wars is able to do that.
Well, hold on. You're saying him beating the crap out of people and dusting people is not as fierce as Darth Vader.
I'm just saying we're not going to see anything more come out of Thanos.
More, okay.
That compared to Darth Vader. So talking about like reception wise, you know, I feel like Darth Vader's gotten better the more he's shown up.
They've added to him.
They've added a little bit story because there was enough story to tell. Whereas Thanos, I don't know. We'll see in the future. Maybe there is between
that's
like
an interesting point. Yeah.
So we've seen all the powers pretty much that Thanos has.
Yeah.
But Darth Vader, we could still see more come out of him.
We've seen his peak.
Well,
Thanos.
From what I understand, Disney isn't doing any Skywalker saga stuff anymore.
Yeah, but I mean, in a sense, though, we could see more out of Darth Vader. But, I don't know if that answers the question of who is the better villain.
Oof.
Listen, I'm a little biased because Thanos is my boy, but. Yeah, you made some good points there, buddy.
Me?
Should
we?
I'm like, wait a second.
Should we leave it on our favorite? Just who our favorite villain is?
Yeah.
Currently.
By the way, I do love Star Wars.
Yeah. Have you ever seen Star Wars though?
I have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I do think Thanos is like the better villain. He may not be able to live as long as Darth Vader has in the 40 something years since Star Wars came out.
Yeah.
But I think overall he is more menacing and I don't know. I just like him more. The menacing is what really does it for me, and I've read all the backstory stuff, but I don't know.
Okay.
It comes down. It's kind of hard to say because I don't want to be crucified either.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, I'll say my favorite straight up is Darth Vader. Actually, I feel like he was a better villain to me, but that's my favorite. I don't know. I'll just end with that.
Awesome. And I think my end conclusion is I'm going to have to go with Darth Vader as well. My favorite moments are, again, the Rogue One scene and the end of Jedi Fallen Order. Just the fear that he can command when he's on screen is insane. And something I don't truly feel with Thanos to that extent. Like, I do feel it in that way, but I feel like Darth Vader, just when he's on screen, when he's doing those kind of moments, he's like breathtaking. Like you like literally feel.
Do you
fear.
want to kiss him?
No, I want to kiss Darth Vader. But yep, that's my decision.
You want to change your mind, or are you good?
No, I'm good.
Okay, Drake is all good. Well, the other question we have for you listeners: who is your favorite, or who do you think is the better villain,
And why?
And why? Darth Vader or Thanos?
Yeah,
Let us know.
We can talk about it next time.
We'll share
you
your comments.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, and I think that's about all we have. So please stay somewhat original. Hey, somewhat original listeners, Tanner here. If you liked that episode, leave us a 5-star review and let us know what you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on all of our social media pages, including our new YouTube page. It's exciting. Well, there isn't much, but we are in the works of making something somewhat original for all of you. That's all I have to say. So, I guess I'm out of here. Bye.
Have you seen Star Wars?
I have not seen Star Wars.
Good. The movie sucks.
Rewind.